Hello everyone. So this is the third part of respiration, and in this video lecture we'll be discussing about the acetyl coenzyme formation. In the previous video we have discussed about the glycolysis in which the pyruvic acid was formed as the end product. So before the pyruvic acid enters into the Krebs cycle, there occurs a process in which the pyruvic acid gets converted into the acetyl coenzyme A. So in this video lecture, we'll be discussing about the acetyl coenzyme A formation, and in the next video, we'll be discussing the Krebs cycle. So let's talk about the process now. So in this process, 2-pyruvate gets converted into the 2-acetyl coenzyme A, and in this process carbon dioxide is released out. Along with that we have the formation of 2-NADH, and this complete process occurs in the presence of PDH complex, that is pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. So talking about the products in this process, we have in total 5 ATPs produced because we have 2 NADH. So after calculating it, we get in total 5 ATPs produced. So let's talk about the process now. The first point to remember is that it is an irreversible process. And second, that it is oxidative decarboxylation, because in this process there occurs both the decarboxylation and oxidation. First we have the decarboxylation and then it is followed by the oxidation. So talking about the site where it occurs, so in case of eukaryotes, it occurs in the matrix of the mitochondria, and in case of prokaryotes, it occurs in the cytosol. So as you can see, the matrix is the gel-like substance present in the mitochondria, and talking about the cytosol is the liquid substance that is present in the cell. In simple terms, we can say that if we exclude all the cellular organelles from the cytoplasm, then it is known as cytosol. So let's talk about the pyruvate dehydrogenase enzyme, which help in the complete acetyl coenzyme formation. So it is a multi-subunit enzyme because it consists of 3 units, that is E1, E2 and E3. We need not to go into the depth of the functions of these units. We just need to remember their names and the number of polypeptides they are formed of. So the E1 subunit is known as the pyruvate dehydrogenase, and the E2 subunit is known as the dihydrolipoyl transacetylase. And talking about the E3 subunit, it is known as dihydrolipoyl dehydrogenase. And talking about the number of subunits they are formed of, so the E1 and the E2 are formed of 24 polypeptides, and talking about the E3, it is formed of 12 polypeptides. So this was all that we need to understand and learn about the acetyl coenzyme formation, and in the next video we'll be dealing with the Krebs cycle in detail. So if you like this video, please do like, share it with your friends, and please subscribe to my channel. It would be very helpful, and I'll be coming up very soon with the next video. So thank you so much for watching, and till then keep learning.